Okay, now that the program crashed, I restarted it. Now going live right now.
The views and opinions expressed in the following show do not necessarily represent those of this station or its sponsors.
Getting your work week started right by stretching out your vagina holes with the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. Call into the show live at 313-444-8919. Again, that number is 313-444-8919. Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com.
Am I the meanest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the prettiest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Alien Stone.
But who am I?
Alien Stone.
Who am I?
Alien Stone.
I can't hear you.
Alien Stone.
The Shogun of Harlem.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for allowing me to beam you aboard the mothership for another Monday morning. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. I'm your host, Alien Stone. We're broadcasting to you live from the other side of Planet Chaos, directly into your ear holes on Alien X Radio, UG Media, WCET-FM, Lime City Radio, and the Paranormal Junkyard Radio Network. And then fine affiliates in replay and syndication around the world. Fine stations like 920 WON The Apple in New York City, New York, 27.7 The Stream in Chicago, WRFN 1025 in the UK, and WRPR Rat Pack Radio in Florida, as well as many, many other fantastic stations, and we'll pay tribute to them as we go along. Wherever it is that you are listening to The Attack, by all means, you can give me a call. I've got the Alien X lines open at 313-444-8919. Again, that's 1-313-444-8919. Them's the numbers. You can also go to alienxradio.com. There's a chat room in there. You can jump in there. There is a Facebook live video feed running from the show as well. If you want to check out that, I will be having that posted just in a moment here on the Alien X Radio fan group. You can always join that over on Facebook. Head on over there right now. Again, that's the Alien X Radio fan group. And that is where all of the video feeds will be going as far as Facebook goes. Now, you can also head on over to YouTube and look for the Alien X Radio YouTube channel because we're broadcasting live there as well right now. So if you want to see the video feed, head on over that way. If you want to listen to the audio feed, alienxradio.com, there's a little link there to pull open our player, as well as all of our fantastic affiliate stations that are playing and broadcasting our station live. All of their players work as well, so by all means, if you're listening to a local station, then keep listening to that local station and supporting that station as well as the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. So let's go ahead and get things underway with a little history lesson, folks.
Broadcasting directly into your brain.
Let's take a look at this day in history.
May 4th, 1970. A protest against the Vietnam War turns deadly at Kent State University in Ohio. That's where National Guardsmen open fire on anti-war students after the United States invades Cambodia. 4 students are killed. 9 others are wounded in the shootings, sparking further unrest on America's campuses. 1979. Margaret Thatcher becomes Britain's first female prime minister. That happens when her Conservative Party ousts the Labour Party from power in parliamentary elections.
I'll strive unceasingly to try to fulfill the trust and confidence that the British people have placed in me and the things in which I believe.
1886. In Chicago, a labor demonstration for an 8-hour workday turns into a riot when a bomb explodes at Haymarket Square. The violence kills 7 policemen and injures 60 others. 1961. During the Civil Rights Movement, a group of Freedom Riders leaves Washington, D.C. for New Orleans. They face violence in the South as they challenge racial segregation on interstate buses and at bus terminals. In 1927, the people who bring you the Oscars, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, is founded. Today in history, May 4th. Camille Bohannon, The Associated Press.
Yes, and to all you Star Wars fans out there, may the 4th be with you. Starting things off with music for your Vajir holes from my old band Freakstar, and it's My Life on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
Here's this week's bad movie flashback.
No. Please. No.
Never has a film moved so many and touched so deeply. United Artists is proud to present I Am Going to Get You, Sucker, a captivating story.
Yo, baby, hold it. That ain't it. It's I'm gonna get you, sucker. Yes. And it's the story of the brothers fight. Yes. Against Mr. Big. Yes. Well.
Let's get that sucker.
It's about action, bravery.
I'm a soldier, man. I've been trained for combat.
Romance.
12 inches.
And danger.
If y'all step on my bunny, I'll kill both of you. Let's get that sucker.
It's the good guys against the bad guys.
Oh, how come their guns are so much bigger than ours?
It's a balance thing. I don't know.
Good girls against the bad guys.
You must got the devil in you. No.
And it's bad guys against the bad guys.
Now, you boys can leave either through the window or the stairs.
We gonna take the stairs. We'll take the stairs.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
You know what I mean, brother?
No.
It's got passion, pulse, rhythm, and soul.
Preach, brother!
Who are these guys? It's my theme music. Every good hero should have some.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Don't say that.
I'm gonna get you, sucker. Even if you can't say it, you got to see it.
I got you, sucker.
Call into the show live at 313-444-8919. Again, that number is
313-444-8919.
Plus commercials, definitely.
Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
Awesome!
All right, folks, it is that time. It is time for the punchlines. This portion of the show being brought to you by Freedom Heating and Cooling. Check them out on Facebook. Look them up. It's Freedom Heat Cool on Facebook. They will stay open through this entire thing. That's right. If you're having any problems with your heating, your cooling oil, or even your hot water tank, and it's in the middle of this whole pandemic shutdown thing, they will still be coming out and handling your emergency needs. So again, that's Freedom Heating and Cooling. Look them up on Facebook at Freedom Heat Cool. So today's punchlines. Wow, thought I had them here. Oh, here they are. These weird gifts are perfect for the weirdest Mother's Day ever. Okay, so you've given your mom, everything that you could have possibly given her. You're running out of ideas. What could you possibly give her? Well, mom won't be able to keep her social distance from this alien-themed salt shaker. Or perhaps a pocket chainsaw. Or a wearable reproduction of Kim Kardashian's butt. Okay, these are all great gifts for mom, I'm sure. The alien salt shaker, it would remind her of me. Not sure she wants it. The pocket chainsaw, I just want to know what the hell a pocket chainsaw is, and I want one. I don't know if I want to get one to my mom, but what's a pocket chainsaw? And a wearable reproduction of Kim Kardashian's butt. So what is this, just like a really large sofa cushion wrapped in skin-colored material, and then you strap it on? I don't know. Perhaps a meet and greet and an afternoon of tea with Courtney Love. That is, of course, if your mother's into chicks and sharing needles. Yeah. So these are all, I don't know, questionable gifts, I would say. It says the perfect gift. Anyway, Key West cancels Hemingway lookalike contest because of COVID-19. COVID-19's canceling everything, even a lookalike contest. Can't you do that on Facebook or something? Like with Facebook Live? I could see you, right? Anyway, the 3-night competition, which has been scheduled for July 23rd and 25th. I mean, that's a long way off. Don't you think we can still have it? Typically attracts more than 100 burly, bearded contestants from around the world. But now I see why they have to cancel it, because now that masks are being required to go anywhere, they've all had to shave off their facial hair to get that airtight seal. You know, I just wrap my whole entire face up, and I don't care. Just those little peekaboo eyes, I'm like ninja. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, cops shouldn't have pulled over a driver who was flipping the middle finger. Okay, so you've done that before, right? Don't act like you haven't flipped somebody off on the road. Liar! I'm sure you have. You know what I'm saying? Because I tell you what, I flip off anybody that doesn't use their turn signal. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm kind of mad that they don't use their turn signal. You can't move your finger a few inches from the steering wheel over to the turn signal, because when I don't use my turn signal, you certainly can move your finger more than a few inches from your steering wheel to flip me the bird, right? Just use your turn signal. Anyway, a state trooper's decision to stop a driver who flashed an obscene hand gesture wasn't justified. The North Carolina Supreme Court ruled on Friday. So it's official, my friends. The finger is A-OK. You can flip people off. Just go right ahead. It doesn't say in the article, though, who they were flipping off. Were they flipping off the police officer? Or were they flipping off another person in a car? That's a fun fact to know. I'm just saying, before you go wielding your rights about. And that has been the punchlines for this hour. What? Oh, here it is. Wow, I was like, I'm hitting it. It's like, I see it playing, but I don't hear it. Anyway, folks, that has been the punchlines for this hour. So, what was I going to do? What are we up against? Oh, that's right. We have reformatted the show, folks. You believe that? The format has changed, and I already messed it up. I was supposed to go into news 35 seconds ago. So, folks, bringing you up to date, here is your first news report of the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
Yeah! And now your weekly news update from NPR.
Broadcasting directly into your brain.
I've always listened to it.
Live from NPR News, I'm Corva Coleman. President Trump is predicting that there will be a vaccine for the coronavirus by the end of this year. NPR's Mara Liasson reports.
President Trump likes to have good news to tout. Sometimes it's a drug like hydroxychloroquine or possible therapies like UVA light or disinfectants. On Sunday, it was an imminent vaccine. At a Fox News virtual town hall, he said there would be a vaccine to protect people against COVID-19 by the end of 2020.
We are very confident that we're going to have a vaccine at the end of the year. By the end of the year, have a vaccine.
However, top public health officials say a vaccine will probably take much longer, and the president did admit that he may be wrong about his optimistic timetable. If another country develops the vaccine first, he said, I don't care. If it's another country, I'll take my hat off to them. Mara Liasson, NPR News.
More than half of U.S. states are slowly reopening despite the pandemic, lifting shelter-in-place orders. One of the several states that's reopening slowly is Ohio. Governor Mike DeWine says he is trying to strike a balance between preventing the spread of the virus and reopening the economy. Ohio Public Radio's Andy Chow reports.
Employees are returning to manufacturing plants, distribution centers, and general offices as part of Ohio's first phase of reopening businesses. Governor Mike DeWine is ordering those companies to follow strict workplace requirements, such as wearing face masks, cleaning surfaces, and staying 6 feet apart. He says the public needs to feel confident that workplaces are safe.
People have to feel, public has to feel that every precaution is being taken, every safety measure is being taken. Because everybody knows the virus is still out there. It's not going away.
Retail companies can fully reopen next week. DeWine says the next step will likely be to open restaurants, hair salons, and barber shops. For NPR News, I'm Andy Chow in Columbus.
A recent study by a California think tank is accusing the government of Nicaragua of failing to enforce laws that protect its indigenous people. Maria Martin reports it further accuses the Nicaraguan government of failing to investigate murders of dozens of indigenous leaders.
More than 40 indigenous leaders have been killed in Nicaragua in the last 3 years, usually over land disputes with new settlers and mining and timber companies. The report by the Oakland Institute charges the government of Daniel Ortega with turning a blind eye to the murders, news of which has been obscured by the crackdown on anti-government protests of the last 2 years and now by the coronavirus crisis.
Maria Martin reporting. More than 1.1 million people have been diagnosed with the coronavirus in the U.S. More than 67,000 people have died here of COVID-19. Worldwide, more than 3.5 million people have been infected with the virus. This is NPR.
It's starting to get warm outside. Pretty soon my balls are going to stick to my leg. I got to get me some freedom.
Freedom Heating and Cooling.
They specialize in light commercial and residential service and installation. They even do hot water tanks.
Freedom Heating and Cooling.
Just check out this deal.
Complete installation of the iWave R air purifier for only $600. It kills mold, bacteria, and viruses while reducing odors and allergens.
Contact Eric at 313-920-2325. Again, that's Eric at 313-920-2325. Or get a hold of Dave at 248-345-8196. Again, that's Dave at 248-345-8196. Look for him on Facebook at Freedom Heat Cool. Call today for a free estimate.
Freedom Heating and Cooling. Call into the show live at 313-444-8919. Again, that number is 313-444-8919.
Bus commercials, definitely.
Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
Awesome!
Welcome back to The Attack, everybody. It's The Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast. From outer space, I'm your host, Alien Stone, and we are screaming through the galaxy at triple redunculous speeds. Maybe not screaming. Maybe just talking with a very authoritative voice. I don't know. Just being noisy. Pissing off the neighbors, getting them to call the city. Whatever. But not screaming, necessarily. Triple redunculous speeds, though, guys. Relax. The gravitational plates are gravitating. The inertia canceller is canceling. And the deflector array is deflecting. You have been beamed aboard. So, Alien X lines are open at 1313-444-8919. Again, that's 313-444-8919. Where is my list of things to talk? There they are. Yeah. So, folks, we got this whole pandemic, of course. It's been going on. Everybody's tired of hearing about it. I understand. But every time we turn around, there's like a new aspect, a new thing that we didn't think about. You know, something that's happening that, you know, it's only happening to a certain facet of people. You know what I'm saying? So, obviously, I don't want to say people live in a bubble, okay? I don't want to say people live in a bubble, but you live in your world, okay? Things that happen in your world do not happen in other people's worlds, okay? That's all I'm saying. Yeah, they happen in the same planet. They happen simultaneously, but they do not know what's going on with each other. Okay, so there are people affected in different ways, and you have no idea. So people who don't live paycheck to paycheck, people who do not live paycheck to paycheck, I'm sure have heard of this, but have never utilized the service, and I'm talking about payday loans. Okay, payday lenders, payday loans. I'm sure you've at least heard of the concept of this. So these are places that you go when you need some money, and you are not you're waiting for your paycheck, but you need the money now. It's your money. Use it when you need it, right? Well, that's a different thing. But so you'd go in and you would show them your pay stubs, and they see that, okay, you're going to get a paycheck on this day or whatever. Okay, so we will give you X amount of dollars. And then, of course, they charge interest on those payday loans because, you know, it's a loan, right? That's how they make money. They don't pay for the building and doing their job and everything, just giving money and then taking back exactly what they gave, right? But traditionally, these things have been going up and up and up and up in the amount of interest that is charged. So let me just read this very, very small little thing here. It says payday lenders are charging up to 780% interest amid coronavirus panic. While banks are slashing lending rates, it's business as usual for payday lenders, now considered essential services during the pandemic. Now, they're considered essential services because obviously people are freaking broke right now. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, okay, if you're not working, you're not getting a paycheck. If you're not getting a paycheck, then how are you supposed to get a payday loan? These are also people that already owe because, again, you're going in the hole. You're borrowing money against a paycheck that's coming up, and then you have to pay interest on top of it. So you hopefully you're not borrowing as much as you're getting from your paycheck because now you're in the hole for the interest. So it's very difficult. It's like turning your paycheck into a credit card kind of situation. And it's really a bad situation that somebody can get. I mean, it's designed and its purpose is for an emergency. You know what I'm saying? Like something really comes up, like your transmission goes out. I don't know, something big happens, and you need money, and it's a one-time thing. This isn't a thing where every single week you're behind on your cash because for whatever reason, maybe you're overextended on things, or maybe just your boss doesn't pay you enough. I don't know. But this is not what this is for. You're not supposed to keep going and borrowing money each week because now you're getting farther and farther in debt. And the story had gone on to talk about somebody that was already falling way behind on these things, and then the pandemic put her out of work. Well, she's out of work, but she still owes all these payday loans, and they're still charging interest. And when she was told, hey, you have to stay at home, you can't work anymore, at that time she had already owed, and get this, over $6,000 to payday loan companies, okay? Maybe I'm sure there were several different ones, but whatever, either way. Those numbers are not from what she borrowed. Those numbers are also from what the interest is charged on that, okay? And every time that you make a payment that's less than the full amount, there's another interest. So whatever you're giving them, not all of that is taken off of the, you know what I'm saying? Come on, folks. Use it for an emergency purpose, but when you get yourself into trouble, and at the same time, now that I've told you you're using it wrong and you're hurting yourself, now at the same time, these people are opportunistic and they are gouging, and they're as much to blame as the lender and the lendee are both to blame for this. Okay, one is getting himself into trouble, the other one is intentionally getting that person in trouble, and they know they are. They know they are. They had problems with interest rates and loaning for houses and stuff with bad credit in the past because they knew that they were doing wrong. They knew they were getting people into trouble, and that's exactly what's happening with the payday loans as well. You know, they're getting into trouble. So anyway, that's enough serious talk for a second. So let's go ahead and find some music for your Vajir holes. I haven't played this in like 100 years. Well, that might be exaggerating just a little bit. But anyway, Panic Trigger is the name of the band, and Shangri-La is the name of the song. And it's the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space.
Worlds will fall away. It's Hey kids, when you're not watching my show, the Segravson Show Presents, you should be listening to Alien X Radio. That's where I'm at right now, out in space somewhere.
Alien X Radio.
this is Doug Bradley, Pinhead from the Hellraiser movies, and you're listening to Alien X Radio. And you'd better carry on listening to Alien X Radio, or I will tear your soul apart.
Hell, they say is paved with good intentions. They twist my thoughts until I go against my own convictions. They fill my head with lies and rationalizations. They send my broken will on permanent vacation. I can feel it taking hold of me, and there's no way I'm breaking free. Release me from this spell I'm under before my soul is torn asunder. Can you save me now from this tragic fate, or is it too late? Is it too late for me? Ability to control my actions. No more morality, just bloody satisfaction. Well, I know my will is strong, but it's total domination. Now all I know is death and this violent sensation. I can feel it taking hold of me, and there's no way I'm breaking free. Release me from the spell I'm under before my soul is torn asunder. Can you save me now from this tragic fate, or is it too late? Is it too late for me? Go for a while, all I do is sit and cry. I can feel it taking hold of me, and there's no way I'm breaking free. Release me from the spell I'm under before my soul is torn asunder. Can you save me now from this tragic fate, or is it too late? Is it too late? Release me from the spell I'm under before my soul is torn asunder. Save me now from this tragic fate, or it's too late. Is it too late for me?
Something to say? Don't be a bitch. Call into the show at 313-444-8919. Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com. Broadcasting from beyond planet chaos directly into your vajir holes. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
The house is now on fire.
All right, folks, welcome back to the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. Awesome tune right there, man. I love that tune. It's by Vince Smith. You may know him as Motown Vinny from the Vinny and the Alien show back in the day. He wrote that tune to be on the Blood Red Beauty soundtrack. Came out to 2012. Look for it on... Actually, you can watch the entire movie on the Alien X Radio YouTube page. You go there and the entire movie is there. You can watch the whole thing. Just brace yourself for, you heard of B movies? Well, this is like an Elemental P movie. I'm just saying, check it out. Anyway, where was I? That's right, we are getting dangerously close to the end of hour number 1. So I just wanted to hit you up with this real quick. Something a little about perception, folks. It's about perception. If you want somebody to know what's happening, you can show them a picture, correct? Man, that sounds like a good idea, right? Oh my God, there's so much stuff happening here. I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to show somebody what's happening. Imagine there's 20,000 people. Okay, let's imagine there's 1,000 people. 1,000 people. And they're all standing in a group. And the person with the camera sees 10 people doing something that bothers them. It bothers them. They're all in a group together. The whole group, the 1,000 people aren't doing this thing. They were walking past this group saying, oh my God, these people are out here doing this. And then all of a sudden, these 10 people were just obnoxious. So they take a picture, boom, of those 10 people. Then they say, look, I was out here at this thing where there's 1,000 people, and look what they were doing. Now the people looking at the picture and reading the attached message think that the 1,000 people were now doing what the 10 people were doing. Was that done intentionally to manipulate you into believing something that wasn't true? Or is it just their perception and they kind of just spilled it out there, and now other people are trying to pick up somebody's perception without being in their position where they can actually perceive? You see what I'm saying? You're not looking through someone's eyes, you're looking through a little itty bitty sliver of what you think they can see. And another good example of this, I saw an article. That it was talking about perception. And it showed a whole bunch of people standing really close together in line. And you're supposed to be 6 feet apart, right? You're supposed to be 6 feet apart. But they were all really, really close together in line. And the camera was looking down the line kind of at them, so you could see each person's face over the shoulder of the person in front of them. And boy, they looked like they were right on top of each other. But then that same photographer, to prove a point, then walked on a completely different angle and took a picture of the same line from the side, and see now that each person was, in fact, 6 feet apart from each other, standing in line. It's about perception. Your angle, where are you? Are you on the front lines? Are you there? Are you actually seeing this? Or is somebody manipulating the camera or unintentionally manipulating the camera and giving you a false sense of what is happening? You know, you got to think about this, man. People, they see a picture and they go, oh, that's what's happening. Okay, how many people were there? How many people do you see in the picture? And then you start saying, well, I've seen a lot of pictures. Okay, well, what do those pictures have in common? Oh, my goodness, it's like the same 10 people. Just being reposted, because people download the picture, they repost it, they share it over and over and over again with different titles and different words, and then say different things and different comments on this one and different comments on this one, and then it gets seen by this person and seen by this person and seen by this person, and now everybody thinks that everybody there, the 1,000 people, were doing what the 10 people were doing. Wasn't the case. Same thing is true with quotations. Okay, I'm going to quote somebody. Well, that's kind of what he said. Then that's not a quote. Were you listening to what he said? If you were listening to what he said, then you should quote what he said if you want to quote what he said. Otherwise, you're paraphrasing or you are saying what you think he said. If I don't know what somebody said, I say, hey, I think he said, or is this what he said? I'm not going to say that's exactly what he said. And if I want to know what somebody exactly said, then I will go and listen to exactly what they said. Not the edited, spliced out sound bit version of everything. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, you cannot take anything at face value anymore, because it's all about the perception of the person, the perception they want you to perceive. You know what I'm saying? They're setting up an imagery that they want you to put into your mind, because you're not there to see it. So now what do they want you to see as opposed to what should you see? If somebody was honest, they would show you the entire thing. But how are you going to take a picture of 1,000 people? You know what I'm saying? How are you going to, I'm just saying, folks, you got to stop. Anyway, too much on this show. I just shouldn't do that kind of stuff. Anyway, what about drive-in concerts, folks? Let's switch the subject here for a quick hot minute here. Drive-in concerts. Drive-in movie theaters, I don't see any reason why they have been stopped. I really don't. Okay? I mean, you're in your own car most of the time with people that you live with. Okay? If you want to be really picky and say, well, you can't be in a car with somebody you don't share an address with because now it's social distancing, blah, 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 whatever, then fine. Ask to see IDs. Make sure they all live together, whatever. I don't see any reason why. But a concert even, well, I don't see a problem with that. You can get a lot less people at the concert, of course. Because you can get a lot of people to stand where a car would sit, and the spaces in between the cars. Boy, I tell you what, man, there's going to be a lot of fender benders. I guarantee it. And then, since it's a drive-in concert, are you going to be allowed to sell alcohol? Ooh, can't drink in your car, can you? A lot of stuff to think about, man. The world has changed, and you don't even know how much it's changed yet. I've gone into a cocoon, and we will eventually emerge. We will eventually emerge, and what creature will come out? I haven't a clue. Neither do you. So stick around. We'll be back with hour number 2 of the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space. Go nowhere.
We can't stay closed as a country. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's President Trump's message in a Fox News town hall.
I think that winning ultimately is going to bring this country together.
The president unequivocal on the need to reopen our economy, endorsing a state-by-state approach, really, predicting that a coronavirus vaccine could be available by December.
We're so far ahead of any vaccine ever in history.
Cases of the virus in the U.S. approaching 1.2 million, deaths approaching 68,000.
That's Fox's Todd Pyro. At least 15 states are lifting more restrictions today, including Florida, allowing dining in restaurants and malls to reopen. Corona restrictions also being lifted in parts of Europe as many countries also band together on research. Fox's Simon Owen live in London.
Dave, a group of countries, including Britain, France, Japan, Saudi Arabia and Canada, plus the European Union, holding talks today seeking to raise an initial $8 billion for coronavirus research. The countries pledging to work together in efforts to find a possible vaccine and treatment. It's not clear if the United States will take part. The talks coming as some people in Europe begin heading back to work. Lockdowns are being eased in Italy and Spain, although Britain remains closed with no news on restrictions here being relaxed. Dave?
Simon, Congress is partially returning today.
Senators are being encouraged to have staff members monitored for illnesses and socially distanced. Well, back at the Capitol, face coverings are not required, but are strongly suggested.
Fox's Jared Halpern. House Democrats more corona cautious, not ready to return yet, and a first day at the Supreme Court listening to arguments by teleconference. A police officer is dead in Overland Park, Kansas.
He did his job. I mean, that's what he was doing. He was going into work. He observed a hit-and-run accident, and he was trying to call out to officers to get to the scene.
Overland Park Police spokesman John Lacey. The officer pursued. The suspect was also killed. America's listening.
You know, it's about to start getting pretty hot outside. I think it's time I have a professional check out my air conditioning unit.
Freedom Heating and Cooling.
They specialize in light commercial and residential service and installation. They even do hot water tanks.
Freedom Heating and Cooling.
Just check out this deal.
Complete installation of the iWave R air purifier for only $600. It kills mold, bacteria, and viruses while reducing odors and allergens.
Contact Eric at 313-920-2325. Again, that's Eric at 313-920-2325. Or get a hold of Dave at 248-345-8196. Again, that's Dave at 248-345-8196. Look for him on Facebook at Freedom Heat Cool. Call today for a free estimate.
Freedom Heating and Cooling.
and my lady want to get busy tonight. What do you recommend?
Igor's Lube.
I got my fist stuck in a gravy boat. Any ideas on how I can get it out?
Igor's Lube.
The hinges on my cabinet doors are squeaky. What should I use?
Igor's Lube.
I got dry, flaky elbows.
Igor's Lube.
Okay, but what if I'm being held hostage by a supervillain in an underground lair with a ticking time bomb and only seconds left until detonation? What would save me then, huh?
Igor's Lube.
That's right. Everything is smoother with Igor's Lube.
Igor's Lube. Get some today and get some tomorrow.
Oh my God. What have I done? What have I done?
Look at the turning wheel. The Alignment, the latest CD from The Creeping Chaos, featuring Dead in the Water.
Dead in the water.
Beg for mercy and Under the Blade.
We live our lives under a blade.
Available now at iTunes, CD Baby, and Rock of Ages in Garden City.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's Decaffeinated Hot Dogs, the Frankfurters that contain absolutely no caffeine. Of course, our regular hot dogs don't contain any caffeine either, so we have to add caffeine and then remove it so that it truly is decaffeinated. Sure, Ed's Decaffeinated Hot Dogs cost a lot more than other brands, but no other luncheon meat producer goes to so much trouble to provide you with wieners that don't even have a speck of caffeine. So pick up a dozen or more packages of Ed's Decaffeinated Hot Dogs today. And while you're at it, why not try some of our new aspirin-free bologna?
The views and opinions expressed in the following show do not necessarily represent those of this station or its sponsors.
Resistance is futile, but you can struggle if you like. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
You got something to say? Say it, bucko. Call into the show live at 313-444-8919. Again, that number is 313-444-8919.
Am I the meanest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the prettiest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this time?
Alien Stone.
But who am I?
Alien Stone.
Who am I?
Alien Stone.
I can't hear you.
Alien Stone.
The Shogun of Harlem.
All right, everybody. Hope your morning's going pretty good. We have just slammed to head on into hour number 2 of the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. Broadcasting to you live on AlienXRadio.com, UG Media, WCET-FM, Lime City Radio, and the Paranormal Junkyard Radio Network, and in replay and syndication around the world on fantastic stations like United Sounds Choice Radio in Amsterdam, United Talk Radio, Prodcore Radio, Pure Rock Radio, and 97.1 KGSB-FM Get Smashed Radio in Seattle, Washington. Thank you very much for tuning in wherever you are. You can give me a call live at 1-313-444-8919. Again, that's 1-313-444-8919. Or you can Skype me at AlienStone1. That's all one word, AlienStone1, and use the number 1, not the word 1. Otherwise, you would be wrong. AlienStone1. Give me a call. Also broadcasting live onto Facebook. So head on over and look for the Alien X Radio fan group. Click join and love that page. And you can see all of the fantastic live footage there, as well as over on YouTube. That's right, YouTubers. Head on over there for the YouTube channel from Alien X Radio. Alien X Radio YouTube channel. And we also broadcast live there as well, if you prefer that, since obviously it's a much better video quality on YouTube than on Facebook. But anyway, here we are in hour number 2. What's happening? Hopefully, I'm going to get somebody to call in a little bit later on, and we're going to play Who Wants to Be a Smart Ass. I'd like to do that in, I think that it's going to be its new home, is the second half of hour number 2. We're going to play Who Wants to Be a Smart Ass. Maybe I can get Mad Martin to call in. I know he's just hanging around listening to the show anyway. Some people getting back to work, though, now. So it's difficult for people to call and participate when they're at work now. Their bosses are watching them. You know. Punchlines on their way as well. We'll do a replay of just a few questions from yesterday's show. And a wackadoo of the week. That's right. I'm bringing all kinds of crazy stuff back that has been gone for a long time. Kind of like this. Remember this?
Broadcasting directly into your brain.
What the Florida?
That's right, folks. It's time for What the Florida, brought to you by Freedom Heating and Cooling. Look for them on Facebook at Freedom Heat Cool. All right, so I love it when things start happening again and you can start finding stuff for What the Florida. A Florida man was arrested last week for non-compliance of the stay-at-home order, trespassing, and indecent exposure. The 52-year-old man was picked up outside of the Titty Twister strip club. He was pounding on the door, screaming, "I'm sorry, Diamond, take me back, please." When police arrived on the scene, the man was naked from the waist down. He was, however, wearing rubber gloves and a mask. What made the scene even more creepy was that it was a rubber Halloween mask of the former Vice President Joe Biden, and he was sporting a raging boner. When asked why he was pantless, he said he had taken too much Viagra and it hurt to wear them. He needed to find Diamond so she could, quote, help him out with that. When asked why he was wearing the rubber gloves and mask, he replied, of course, coronavirus! Really, dude? Really? And that has been What the Florida. I love Florida. I love their overdose of sunscreen that makes them do crazy things. My man Charles Richardson from the Charles Richardson Show, he knows all about it down there. He witnesses it every day. Now, he's not originally from Florida, I don't believe. No, he moved down there for the sun and the fun and then found the crazy. But he's there now. Are you going to give up the fun and the sun and being able to, like, every other weekend just go to Disney? Really? And ride the roller coasters? That's every other weekend because it's like around the corner? Really? You going to give that up because of the crazy? I would. He won't. But then again, he does a radio show, so his entire show is just filled with local news. All kinds of cool things to talk about. Anyway, I need to get to some music for your Vajir holes real quick because I think I'm falling behind. I am falling behind. I'm a whole minute behind, folks, according to my new format here. So let's find some music for your Vajir holes. I know that I really enjoy, and I know a lot of people enjoy, a band called 23EXP and their tune Stand Up, which just so happens to be the theme music for the Charles Richardson Show. So without further delay, it's 23EXP on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space. Stand up!
Too high, get to see the light. Yeah, it's true, been there before. But now the sun don't hurt me. It blinded me permanently. Stronger, feeling free. with the shadows of the night.
Hi, this is Mike Farrell. You may remember me as BJ Honeycutt from MASH. Here I am on Alien X Radio.
from beyond planet chaos directly into your Vajir holes. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. You got something to say? Don't be a bitch. Call into the show at 313-444-8919. Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com.
All right, folks, welcome back to The Attack. It's The Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. I am your host, Alien Stone, and we are still broadcasting to you live on alienxradio.com in Detroit, Michigan, as well as Raw Talk Online in Florida, WCET-FM in South Carolina, Lime City Radio in Indiana, and the Paranormal Junkyard Radio Network somewhere out there in the unknown. And then we got fantastic, fine affiliates in replay and syndication around the world, stations like Western Reserve Digital Radio in Ohio, K98 in Pennsylvania, and Mile High Radio in Colorado, as well as Good Talk Radio in Colorado. So, folks, here we are, coming up pretty close here on the midway points of the show. Now, we've told you before, we're screaming through the galaxy at triple-dip redunculous speeds, which means very soon we're going to be making a really harsh turn. We're going to be heading back towards planet Earth, where we're going to beam you back. Told you, we bring you back unharmed, but not unchanged. You will be forever changed throughout the journey. I'm just saying. Unharmed, but not unchanged. But do not worry, because we have great gravitational plates, the best inertial cancelers, and the deflector array does a great job deflecting. All installed at Jupiter Station. They do a primo job over there. And I certainly hope nothing breaks down, because, yes, they too are shut down. Really? Really? Are you telling me the Kung Flu made it all the way out to Jupiter Station? Who's screening these astronauts? I don't know. Anyway, folks. Where was I at in here? I don't know. I just printed out some stuff to talk about. There we go. There's a lot of cokeheads out there going to be really upset to hear this. I only got a minute to tell you anyway, and then we got to go into a quick sports report from our own prospect, but really fast. Feral pigs eat and destroy $22,000 worth of cocaine hidden in Italian forest. After last year's drug-related murder of a 21-year-old Albanian, Italian police began probing a gang of suspected drug dealers who decided to hide cocaine and its boar-infested countryside. And there's actually a phone call coming in. I have no idea who this would be, so let's check it out. You are inside the mothership on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. Who's this?
This is Motown Vinny. Can you hear me?
I can definitely hear you, Motown Vinny.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Pretty good.
How's the pandemic treating you?
It's all right with me, I guess. I mean, everybody else is all tripping out and everything. I mean, I myself would like to go shopping for something other than toilet paper.
Yeah, no kidding.
That would be nice.
It's been a very strange and horrible experience for me, this whole pandemic. But but I mean, I've basically been working through the whole thing. But it's just it's been a big ball of crap, the whole thing.
Right.
So.
I've been working through the whole thing too, but like you said, you're working through it, but you still got to go to the store.
Yeah, some of the experiences are worse than others.
Certainly.
Grocery stores are terrible because it's like, okay, now you got to go one way down an aisle, and no one is doing that like they're supposed to.
Right.
and
it's
then ridiculous.
Even if they are going it down the correct direction, okay, they're generally not. There's no way to pass somebody and be 6 feet away from them. And
no, there's not.
If little old lady Crabtree is reading every single ingredient in the applesauce, I want to go past her. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. And there's always somebody standing in the spot like, okay, I need to go get some chicken. So you go walk up to the chicken, and there's somebody standing there looking at every different one, and you're waiting for them to get the hell out of the way. And then, I mean, it makes the shopping experience, 3 times as long and 3 times as hard. And then when you get I've had times where I got up to the register and looked at everything and saw all the people in line and they were too close together, and I was like, screw it, I don't need this stuff that bad.
Yeah.
There's been days when the line was so long, I was like, screw it, and put the stuff down and walked out.
What really bums me out, though, is when you walk in and you look and you're like, oh, the lines don't look so bad. And then you dip back into the store and get what you want, and then you come back around and 1,100 people somehow got in line before you.
Yeah, they all got in line right after you looked.
Right. They were all in the aisles, and then as you walked into the aisles, they all filtered out and got right in line. And that was just you shopping.
I know. It's crazy, man. And restaurants, like, I don't know if you've gone to a restaurant to pick up any carryout or anything, but some of them won't even let you in the building. They make you wait in your car, which is fine. But the ones you walk into the building, and some of them, like, if you've ever been to, like, a Little Coney, a lot of times they have, like, a lobby with, like, 2 doors.
Right.
Where are you going to go? You
Right.
can't get 6 feet away from somebody. It's impossible.
Right.
You know, it's just, I mean, this world was not built for this.
No, not
So
not
they're
at all.
trying to reverse engineer everything for this, and it's going to be a big cluster, you know what,
Right.
syndication.
During lightning crashes yesterday, I asked lightning strikes rather. I asked 2 questions back to back. The first question was, what is the accepted social distance from person to person? Is it 3 feet or is it 6 feet? And the answer was 6 feet, of course. And then I said, okay, now what is the actual comfortable social distance between 2 people? And that answer was 3 feet. Because if you tried having a conversation with somebody who's 6 feet away from you, it's not very comfortable.
Especially if you're both wearing masks.
Yeah, and then you add that on top of it, and now you're screaming through fabric at each other.
Right. Yeah. My daughter had a friend that was making masks, and they're nice masks, but they're thick and they're cloth. So you try to talk to somebody and they can't hear you, and you can't breathe in it. And I have to keep taking it off every once in a while, which defeats the whole purpose of a mask.
Right.
You know, it's just this whole thing has just been an adventure in how much could we possibly screw this up, and now it's like the point where everyone is just basically saying screw it, because I see people all the time gathering in large groups that are not 6 feet away that just don't care anymore. Since they started to ease the restrictions here a little bit, people have basically been given an inch and taken a mile and just ran with it.
Right.
Which, if you feel comfortable doing that, that's fine. But what if you start making everybody sick again? I mean, it's one of those things where, yeah, I want everything to open. Yeah, I want the economy to be better. But no, I don't want to do this again in a month or 2 or in fall.
Right. And that's one of the things I'm trying to say, too, is that, you got the people that are all the way one side or all the way the other side, and really we can't exist that way. We really can't exist all the way one way or all the way the other way. We just can't. And the people that are all the way one side, you say, look, I think we need to be able to open up, like, say, a Home Depot. Okay, and they go, what are you telling me, that you want to go home and kill your grandmother? Slow down. You know what I'm saying? It's like, slow down.
Yeah. It's been like that for a while, thanks to social media.
And then you got the other people, though, that say, be
you go
careful.
on there, and it, I'm not going to use any president names or whatever, but it could be President D or President R. It doesn't matter. We're not judging either side. But I mean, like, you would say something like, hey, the sky is kind of blue today. And someone would go, thanks, President D. It's like, how did you get to politics from me saying the sky was blue? It blows my mind on social media. I run into that a lot, where you're just talking about something random and someone thinks you're talking about, I posted a picture of myself in the movie that you played the song from earlier, the Blood Red Beauty movie. Do you remember the production still where I have the rope around my neck?
Sure.
Yeah, I posted a picture of that as my profile pic, and someone called me a traitor to my country.
Okay.
Someone we both know, who I blocked since then. I'm like, what?
Yeah, well, okay.
It totally went all, you're... these are the people that are the problem. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I'm like saying, if somebody says something, somebody listens to it, and I believe that there are some people that they are listening to what somebody's saying, but they're only hearing certain words, and then they put those words together and discern from what they said as what they think they heard, rather than everything.
Yeah, I agree. They selectively listen. And I posted a meme yesterday. It was like a Buzz Lightyear and Woody thing. And it's like one of them talking to the other one. And it says, people don't really want to hear your opinion. They want to hear their opinion coming out of your mouth.
Absolutely.
Because that is probably the truest thing that I've seen. Because it's so totally true. It's like all they want is somebody to agree with them. That's it.
And that's why I have so carefully anymore. Every time I say anything, I go, in my opinion, at the beginning of it, and at the end, I sometimes I even put it at the end. And again, this is only my opinion. I always say that because people always come after me saying, "How dare you demand that I act a certain way?" I'm like, read it carefully. It doesn't say anything about you doing anything. I said this was my opinion. That's all. It was my opinion.
Right. And you and I have a special discourse because the two of us don't exactly have the same views on everything.
Nope.
So, matter of fact, a lot of them are probably diametrically opposed. But
yep.
But we have social discourse and have conversations about it that are civil, and we can agree to disagree and we can talk about stuff. If everyone could do that, it would save a lot of. It would be the world would be a lot better place.
And quite honestly, one of the things is this is a truth. This is a truth. I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you right now. You and I are talking about something, okay, and we completely disagree. But you and I are talking about it, okay. You are here, I am here, or at least I am actually talking to you, and you're actually talking to me.
Right.
You will take into account the presence of the actual person or the connection in reality to the person when talking, as opposed to texting or on a blog or on a Facebook page. You tend to let the emotions overflow a little bit more when you're just texting with somebody and not actually engaging with the person directly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You have a lot less fear of reprisal. I mean, when you're not in someone's face, it's really easy to yell at them and say things, you're a bitch and all this other stuff. When you're face to face with them, a lot of those same people will, just say hi and how's it going, and they won't bring it up because they're, a lot of people hide behind their computer and hide behind their phone and say things that are bold and angry and obnoxious and designed to irritate people and stir the pot. But when you're in the presence of them, when you talk to them face to face, the conversation is way different.
Right, and that's only half of what I'm getting at too. Is they're saying, "Oh, well, now I have accountability." The other part of it is, like I said, you and I have known each other for a very long time, so we are friends, and we are also communicating directly with each other. So
right.
I take in account not only do I have the accountability of the person being in front of me, but also there is hanging in the balance of any discussion, there's always the background relationship that exists. And you don't want to interfere or stain or tar or scar or mess with that in any way. So a filter will be applied to you when you're talking to a person and in person with them that you would not apply through text.
That is exactly right. And, nobody wants to, I've seen people lose friendships on the internet like it was nothing. Block it. I can't believe how many people I've had to actually unfollow or block or whatever that I know personally, especially people from childhood and people from school and whatever, that suddenly I find out that they're not the person I thought they were. And they start sharing all of these things that offend me and like, not just offend me. I'm not like a snowflake, I don't get offended too easily, but I mean, like, oh my God, what the hell is wrong with you kind of posts, And then I eventually get sick of seeing them, and that's mainly when I block people. It's like, that's someone that just posts constantly garbage, just like I can't do it. And it's just more for my own sanity than anything else.
See, I'll try to feel. People call this trolling or whatever. I feel somebody out a little bit. Okay, they post something, and I'm like, wow, that's really bold, and I think it's crap. Okay, but I don't go on there and go, hey, I think you're full of crap. And I might come on there and say, well, this isn't true because this or whatever, and then I leave and I walk with. Now, if they come back with, eat my blah blah blah, and you don't know what you're talking about, and blah blah, and it's like
Right.
immediately they left everything behind and just went straight to, like I said, that overflowing or bubbling over of emotion. That is, you can't seem to. There's no filter when you're on Facebook to keep that from bubbling over. It's like put the pot lid back on and turn down the flame. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
I agree with that, and it's just like it's the difference between a discussion and an argument. You know, I mean, you're trying to discuss something and say, hey, you know, that's not right. This website is fake, or this whatever you're saying about what they're
Right.
posting. You know, and then they come back with you're an asshole, you're a traitor, or whatever. You know, whatever kind of rhetoric that they come back with, and it's like if it's just an empty argument, like if you're saying, well, screw you, or any of that, you're not really discussing anything. You're just arguing. You're just trying to win an argument by being as obnoxious as you can so the other person will back down and shut up and say you're right, just to shut you up.
Right. So like I said, when I'm feeling them out, if this is a person that's a friend of mine on Facebook, they might just be an acquaintance on Facebook. But still, I'm not going to immediately be like, oh, I'm going to unfriend this person because this is a stupid thing they posted. Like I said, I hit it with a little something like that. And if they come back with, oh, okay, well, you know, thanks for your opinion, or even just don't say anything, then we're gonna continue just the way we did yesterday and the day before. But if they come back with all that, now I know the true color of that person. Now that's the kind of person that I will block or get rid of or cut loose.
Right.
It's not the fact that they had a disagreeing opinion with me. It's that because my opinion was different than theirs, now all of a sudden I'm a white supremacist, traitor, whatever you're going to start throwing at me, which is ridiculous accusation, completely ridiculous accusations. So I don't have time for that. You know what I mean? Just don't have time.
That's what I mean is I don't have time for it. I have, close to 5,000 friends on Facebook, and I don't have time for somebody to be filling my feed with that kind of stuff. So I unfollow or block or whatever I got to do to get that off of my feed so I can see what I actually want to see, which is posts from my family and friends and, stuff, information, things like that are entertaining, informative, not destructive conversations. That's what I try to stay away from, or the destructive conversations that aren't really going to get anybody anywhere. Because that the same as I do, that if you're on this side of the fence and you try and tell the other person on the other side of the fence that their opinion is wrong, that there is 0.0000 chance of you changing their mind. So having this argument is not going to serve either of you. Do you know what I mean?
Right. And Gallagher said it a long time ago once when he said he was having trouble at school. He said, I once got an F on a question that asked my opinion. How it's an opinion. If it's an opinion, now if you're spurting out saying something, so-and-so said this, okay, and that wasn't what he said, now it's not an opinion anymore.
Right, it's an incorrect answer. If you've ever, what is it? There are no right or wrong answers. Have you ever had like a test or like a question? Somebody asks you a question and they're like, "There's no right or wrong answer to this," but there is, because if you give the answer that you got to give an answer, and then if you give an answer that they don't like, there's a wrong answer because they're going to tell you. That whole "there's no right or wrong answer to this question" is a bunch of crap.
If you say there's no right or wrong answer to this and it asks your opinion and someone marks it down, then there was no right or wrong answer. There was only a right or wrong way to grade that question.
Exactly.
And that's what it is. It isn't about the delivery of that answer. It's about the acceptance and reception of their answer as an opinion. You have to accept it as an opinion. Can't change that. You know what I'm saying? What's your favorite color? Mine's not the same as yours. It's an opinion. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
you're wrong.
That's the whole thing.
It's purple, damn it.
Favorite color, okay. My favorite color, I'll say my favorite color is purple.
That's so funny because that's mine though. You can't use that.
It is really my favorite color. You should see our bedroom. It's ridiculous. It's purple. Anyways, the point being that to me, purple is a right answer. To you, purple is an opinion.
But it just so
my
happens to be
favorite
one
color
we share,
is an
though.
opinion to you. I don't know how to explain that, but it's like, to me, it's my right answer, but
Correct.
It's an opinion to you because you're like, well, that's your opinion. My favorite color is purple or blue or whatever it is, something different.
The question was for an opinion, and the only person on earth that could possibly have the correct answer would be you.
Exactly. So, So what's been going on with you, man? I know you're still working at the same place, and I think.
Sure.
Well, that's
right.
good.
Yeah,
I've been working. I think I've had like 4 jobs during this pandemic. It's a long story. I had, I didn't really buy into the media part of it, but I bought into the fear part of it, and I've had a lot of problems. And I worked at a place where social distancing was more or less a guideline that nobody followed, and it got really weird, and I ended up having to quit. And then I had to. I went to the doctor to get some anxiety medicine. That's how bad this has been, and the whole. That whole experience that I had trying to get with your company was a mess too. That's because I was still messed up from the last job.
Gotcha.
But I'm working, filling in, doing things. There's a lot of people out there that are laid off that are doing this. I see people that I would never see in a million years doing DoorDash right now, because they're out there trying to make money because they're laid off. And unemployment's taking forever and all that. So and I've been delivering pizzas and all that too. So it's just been, you just got to get through however you get through. But it hasn't been a very fun pandemic for me.
No.
But I'm just glad that everybody's
fun for anybody.
safe.
It's just been less horrible for others. That's all.
Yeah, I've been trying to, keep positive and all that. I haven't talked to you in a while. My daughter had a baby, so I have a grandson named Rory, who is 4 months old now.
Congrats.
4.5. So, and I saw him and babysitted him for like a minute, and then the pandemic happened, and all I get now are video chats and pictures. So that's another thing that's really sucked about this pandemic.
Yeah, as you know, I deliver packages, and there's quite a few times I've come up on a house where the grandparents were out on the porch, and the parents were inside holding babies up to the picture window.
Yeah, I can imagine. I've seen
that was
a few
before
things
the
like that
full stay at home, though. That was before that. I mean, you could, at least go over there and just, now
Right.
I'm sure they can't even go over there now.
I think people are. I mean, seriously, I think people are starting to open up since they eased restrictions just a little bit here. Oh, you can go golfing and boating. I'm like, and then where I deliver pizzas at, I drove past the Baskin Robbins, and there were 35 people standing out in front socializing, kids and parents and grandparents
And earlier I was talking about that too. Is that when we have to start opening things up gradually? My opinion is any business that is not focused on the congregation and people dwelling, those are the ones that should be allowed to open. So that'd be Home Depot, gardening stores, things like. Because the point of that is to show up, go in, get the object that you're there to purchase, pay for it, and leave. Okay, so those ones, if you're in there and you're doing the social distancing and you're wearing your mask and you're using your hand sanitizer, you're good. But businesses like movie theaters, concerts, churches, restaurants, these are places where people are going to go in there, congregate, and hang out for an hour, 2 hours, for a length of time. Those are the ones that are going to be a little bit more of an issue and should wait a little bit longer until we're really sure that the curve is on its way back down.
Well, there is a problem with that because that's why they closed the garden centers for a while in the Home Depot and Lowe's and places like that. And the reason why was because people were going there and la-di-dying and walking around in there and hanging out, and there was no social distancing going on, and that's why they shut them down. You give people an inch and they take a mile. It's like you have your places where people are good with it, and then you have your places where people are absolutely not good with it. And it's something that's never happened in the history of the world, let alone this country. We're in a large social media world where there's a giant amount of people. There were so many less people the last time there was a pandemic back in 1918 or something, an actual global pandemic, Spanish flu. But it's so much worse now because the population density in places. That's why New York got hit the worst, because the population density is ridiculous there, especially in New York City. People live too damn close together. It's like a place like Rio de Janeiro where the people live on top of each other.
Well,
there's nowhere to go to social distance.
But you also don't think that maybe, too, that some of it, like some of the places that are hit harder, like, for instance, Michigan is getting hit pretty damn hard. Don't you think that some of that might have something to do with certain areas were selected to receive the planes coming over for a while first before, I'm saying that they were all directed to certain areas, and those areas seem to be getting hit pretty damn hard. And also they were heavily populated, so.
Well, yeah, there's that too. I mean, definitely. But, And and also places with less health care that are poorer sometimes are the ones that are getting hit, and the reason why is because they don't think they can go get help for it, and they just don't get the same kind of treatment. I don't know how to explain it, but I think that's why the city of Detroit got hit so hard in the inner city. But New Orleans is running into the same problem. Not everywhere, but that is one of the things that is causing some issues, is socioeconomic problems.
It's a double-edged sword because on one side you wanna place the blame at inadequate medical treatment or access to medical treatment or access to this, but then at the other side it's like, okay, well, it had to come from and spread from someplace, and it got spread to begin with as well. So it's like, okay, so
Yeah.
you got a double-edged sword there. What are we gonna do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, the funny thing is now that all these hospitals are actually having money problems and they might have to shut down. It's an ironic thing because you've got a whole ton of people that want to go to the hospital, but it's all for the same thing, and all those people have to be quarantined. So you've got the upper floor or whatever it is dedicated to the COVID patients, and then the rest of the hospital is empty. And the hospitals are losing money like mad. It's really strange. They're laying people off. They laid a bunch of people off at Beaumont and a few other hospitals. It's because all they're getting is COVID, and the rest of the normal things that you would have, all these elective surgeries that they've canceled because of this contagious virus, that's where they make all their money.
Well, let's make sure that we're saying that. You see, you're saying that that's all they're getting. And that's not all they're getting. That's all they're receiving.
That's all they can. That's all they're allowed to get. Let's put it that way. They can't.
Right.
They can't do these elective surgeries and all these other things. So there's a major sections of the hospital that have no one in them, and because of that, those people aren't needed. Those people that work there aren't needed. So they're either moved somewhere or they're moved out.
And that's the things that I'm saying too. Is like, people out there have broken fingers. They can't seem to get their fingers taken care of because it's not really that big a deal. They got people that are actually getting other diseases that need to be treated, and we ain't got time for this. We're doing the COVID.
Yeah.
Okay. Dentists, they're not doing anything either. Emergencies only. We're only doing emergencies. Why? Are you trying to say that the dentists are currently at the hospital watching COVID patients? No, they're sitting at home. Okay, they could be doing dentist stuff still. Eye doctors. I would like to go see an eye doctor. I can't. Why? Because they're all shut down. None of them are taking any appointments because it's not that important.
Well, it's not that it's not that important. It's just the dentist is putting his hands in your mouth, and the eye doctor is putting his hands on your face.
And they always did before.
That's why they're shut down.
And they always did before, and they're going to have to afterwards.
They're going to, yeah, but
so,
I mean,
but also if you're at the hospital getting treated for COVID, you're being touched and stuff too. So he is a medical professional. He should have gloves. He should have new gloves. He should be wearing a mask. Everything should be medical in the dentist chair, the same as it is any place else. And if it isn't, you shouldn't be going to that dentist.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the gray area of all of these businesses, that because of this unprecedented thing that's happening, nobody's really sure what the right answer is. So they're just erring on the side of caution, I think. I mean, they're going to open back up. And right now it's all about a decree not to open those things, because they probably would be open if they could. My chiropractor, same thing. They put their hands all over you, And so I really needed to go to the chiropractor, and I was surprised to find that they were open. They said, we're only doing emergencies. We're not allowed to tell anybody they were open, but since you're here, come on in. So, you know what I mean? I got to go to the chiropractor. I trust my chiropractor. He had a mask on. I had a mask on. The worst part about going to the chiropractor is that they put you on a table face down in a cushion that who knows how many other faces were in there.
And again, though, that's
they clean it all up and everything, but it's still a little weird when you put your face in there. You're like, oh my God, what if I'm like breathing in somebody else's stuff right now? It's just
basically what it comes down to
makes you a little paranoid.
You have to, people are saying, well, what about this? What about this? Put my face down on this and all. Okay, well, at some point you have to trust that a medical professional is doing what a medical professional is supposed to do. Why? Because you're not a medical professional. So,
yeah, agreed.
You know what I'm saying? At some point, you have to expect the medical professional to do what he's doing. Now, if you go to put your face down in the cushion and it smells like an armpit, then you know that it hasn't been washed in a while.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You might want to get some disinfectant over here, Doc. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I watched them clean it, so I'm good with that. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, a lot of it is fear-based.
Right.
Because just because the dentist opens doesn't mean anyone's going to go there because they might be afraid to go there. They might say, "Oh yeah, dentists can open," and then they're going to get a smattering of people because half of them don't want to go there because they're scared to have somebody, touching their face, putting their hands in their mouth. I'm just saying, there's a lot of germophobia going on right now.
But
and just
since
like
when-
bars,
since when,
restaurants,
though-
if they did open, they might not have that many people either because people might be afraid to go in.
But since when has a dentist office been a place where you're driving down the street and say, "Hey, you know what? I think I'm going to stop in and get a root canal."
Yeah, it's
Okay?
an appointment
It's
thing.
an appointment, right? So it would be the same as anything else. I mean, it's an appointment. You're not showing up and sitting there like Walmart waiting for customers to show up and buy TVs. You know what I'm saying? There's people on the board. They're coming in. They're signed up. You know what I'm saying? They called yesterday during the pandemic, talking through their mask, and asked to come in to get their root
Right.
canal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they're going to be there. You need to
I
be
agree. What was it? My stepfather, my wife's dad, is waiting right now because he needs to have open heart surgery done. It's not an emergency. It's something they need to fix, but it's not an emergency. So he can't get in to have it done. Open heart surgery. He's waiting to get it done because of this whole thing. So that's what I mean. All these things that the hospital's not making any money on all this stuff, and it's it's going to be a guessing game as to opening this stuff up. Will it work? Will it not work? When should we open? How should we make people stand 6 feet apart? All that stuff. And I see you got two different kinds of people. You got the people that go in there with their mask on and their gloves on, and they're like looking at everyone like, stay the 6 friggin' feet away from me. And then you got your people that walk in there without a mask on. They're just like, whatever, dude, give me my food. And the people at the counter, sometimes it's funny. You'll walk in without a mask on. You'll see somebody walk in without a mask on, and they'll back up. You'll go in there, because we're talking DoorDash. I go to all different restaurants. So I'll walk in there, and they'll have their mask on, and you'll walk right up to the counter, and they'll step back if you don't have a mask on. I've seen it happen. So it's just a matter of the level of fear that you have. Some people are going to be okay with it, and some aren't.
Right, and we have to. That's what it is. Okay, is we've taken your ability to respond to your own level of fear and apply it to your access to the world. We've taken that away, and it's been applied to us by our governments. So we need to start implementing that choice back into the people, saying, "Hey, yeah, you can go to a restaurant, but every other table is going to be shut down." So only half the people are going to be able to come in there. So you can't sit at a table with next to another table. You have to wear a mask until the food arrives, and you have to wear it when you're done. If you're going to come up with all these crazy rules and you want to go through all that stuff and put yourself at risk, then by all means go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? I think today it was Missouri maybe that said concerts were okay. You can go have a concert if you want to.
And that's a no-no. I think that's a mistake.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like, how do you social distance a concert? I don't know if that's even an option.
You cannot.
And it was funny because someone posted a mosh pit. Like, how are you supposed to do a mosh pit when you have to stay 6 feet from somebody? And I'm like, well, I don't think there's going to be a mosh pit.
Somebody showed me a picture of a. They were doing a drive-in concert. The band was up playing on the stage, and all the cars were there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Then it showed the mosh pit, though, and the cars were all piled up like a demolition
yeah, it was
derby.
like a demolition derby. They were all piled up. I love that. But yeah, I mean, I think the drive-in concert's probably not that bad of an idea.
No,
I mean,
not.
everybody stay in their cars. There's no freaking food, so you're not going to get out of your car and walk to the concession stand, so you don't have to worry about the social distancing thing.
Now you got. Here's your issues: bathrooms.
Yeah, there are issues. There's always going to be issues.
For
but
sure.
yeah, I mean, it's So what was it? Somebody said that there was something that somebody said you couldn't do it because there's no bathrooms. I'm like, well, just rent a bunch of porta potties, and put them like everywhere. I don't know. I mean, they're going to figure it out.
Right.
It's all going to get figured out
there's
as
the
it
porta
goes.
potties, but then again, is there going to be a person sitting outside that porta potty that every time somebody walks out, they go in there and they disinfect the toilet seat?
Right. Yeah, that's
now you're
no
talking,
one.
right.
That's not my favorite job. I don't want that job.
Well, that's and if you don't do that, you're just going in there and touching the same germs that the person before you. So it's the same as you bumping shoulders with them out there watching the concert too. So
it's like I said, there are no perfect solutions.
No.
Trust me. I mean, Are you one of the people that wipes down their groceries when they bring them home?
No, I do not.
Okay. Do you know what I'm saying though? Like all of the scary things that they had on the news about this thing can live on plastic for 3 days. You know, all that kind of stuff. Um, so that's fine. But you know, I mean, if you bring home something, you got to grab a Lysol wipe and wipe it down so that because just in case COVID's on it or whatever. I've seen that. You know, I mean, I've done it because the wife, you know, wanted me to. But it's a little weird. You know, you wipe stuff down when you come back from the grocery store, and it's just a precaution. If it makes you feel better, then that's fine. But that's why when you go to the store and try and buy Lysol wipes, you can't find any.
That's why I think there needs to be a level of this that we start moving over to, a level of acceptance of your own risk. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, anybody who is worried about getting COVID, they want to not be around other people, they're not going to go to the bar if it opens. Okay? They're not going to go to the bar. Who's going to go to the bar? People who want to go to the bar. Okay? Now, as long as, like you said, every other bar stool is closed down, you can't sit there. You know what I'm saying? You have to sit apart from each other. Okay? You got to put a straw in your beer because you got to put it up underneath your mask.
Yeah.
As long as you're willing to accept that risk to belly up to the bar, then whatever, go ahead. Because the people that aren't willing to accept that risk aren't going to the bar.
That's true, but it takes 2 weeks to find out if you have this thing, so you could have spread it to a whole bunch of people in that bar. You know, I mean, it's like I said, it's a lot of gray areas going on.
Bars are still on the list of things that I think should not open, though, because that's congregating. You're hanging out.
I was thinking that there's going to be a lot of lawsuits after this is all said and done.
Oh, that's going to never end.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that people are going to say, you didn't social distance me enough, and I caught this, and I'm going to sue you. And it's probably going to happen. But I wanted to tell you a story really quick, and then I'll let you get back to your show. Right before all of this hit, I want to say it was like March 2nd, or I might have the date wrong, but I went to the Token, our favorite place, for Jeff Tate.
Mm-hmm.
It was the last concert that I got to see before all of this. It was so packed in there that people were pushing me up against a wall and I couldn't move.
Wow.
Right before this whole pandemic thing started. It was ridiculously. They sold too many tickets. You couldn't move. You couldn't get to the bar to get something to drink. It was one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. He played. It was a purpose concert. He came in and played. It was the 30th anniversary of the Empire album by Queensryche. Played that in its entirety and played Rage for Order, which is an earlier album, in its entirety. It was an amazing show, but it really, I think about it after that, because right after that is when everybody started talking about, this pandemic and social distancing and everything else. I was in there body to body with people, on top of people. If anybody had it in there, everybody had it, because you could not move at all.
Wow.
It was insane. But I mean, you know how packed that place can get, but they sold too many tickets because you could not. I mean, seriously, I had people pushing me up against a wall.
You're all sweaty and juicy too.
I was like 5 feet away from my wife, who was with me, because she couldn't get to me because she was over there. Like she stepped over for a second to see what was going on and then couldn't get back. So,
wow,
it was insane. It was a great show, but it was like at the same time, I think to myself, man, I could have really screwed up and been sick or dead, But it was a weird show, but it was a great show. But I mean, that was probably one of the very last shows that they had there before all this happened and everything started shutting down. Maybe they probably got another week or two of shows.
Wow.
But yeah, it was just so, I mean, you couldn't even the patio was packed. You couldn't move. Couldn't even get to the bathroom.
All right. Well, hopefully you didn't get something else in there.
Once again, if I was ever going to catch it.
Yeah, there it would have been.
If I hadn't caught it by now at the Token, I'm not going to.
All right, sir. I got to take a short break, pause the action for station identification. And hey, if you feel like calling back next hour and playing a little game show that I got, it's called Who Wants to Be a Smartass, just let me know. Otherwise, I'm postponing it for this week because Mad Martin is having some issues and can't call.
Oh, yeah. I would if I could, man. I gotta head out and do a little door dashing and stuff.
Gotcha.
But it's really good to talk to you, man. It's been a long time, and I know that things have been really weird lately. And maybe once at a times when this gets all straightened around, we'll do a show or something. And All I want to say, though, is that because it's such a coincidence, I know, but right after Mad Martin came to Michigan, all this stuff started happening. Everything went to hell. Pandemics, murder hornets. No, I'm kidding. I love Mad Martin. That was a really cool surprise to see him.
Which, by the way, I love the meme I saw of Dr. Evil. It said, "Fear of the coronavirus is beginning to fade. Release the murder hornets."
Yeah, I saw that one, and I saw one with Smithers, or, Mr. Burns also. It's like, release them.
Awesome.
All right, my friend, take care of yourself. Give my love to the missus, and you guys be safe, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, peace out, sir.
Later.
All right, it's Motown Vinny, everybody. And we're going to take a short break, pausing the action for station identification, and a little sports update from our own prospect. That's right, there's sports? We'll be back after this with more of the Attack, the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
Broadcasting directly into your brain.
And now your weekly sports update with the prospect.
Hello and welcome to the weekly sports update with the prospect on Alien X Radio. As the seemingly never-ending pandemic continued to develop, more sporting events have been canceled as a result. Little League International has announced that they are canceling the annual World Series tournament on Thursday. The event has not been canceled or postponed since it began in 1947. President and CEO Stephen D. Keener said in a statement, quote, "This is a heartbreaking decision for everyone at Little League International, but more so for those millions of Little Leaguers who have dreamt of one day playing in one of our World Series events." It has also been worth noting that the 2020 MLB Little League Classic between the Boston Red Sox and the Baltimore Orioles, scheduled for August 23rd, has also been canceled. The league hopes to resume this play in 2021. Even though more and more sports are canceling or pushing back their dates, one sport that isn't budging is the NFL. In fact, the league is not only starting as scheduled, but they have plans to release their 2020 schedule, complete with plans of the opener on September 10th and the Super Bowl on February 7th. ESPN confirmed back in mid-April that the league is going forward with preparations regarding health and safety as they look forward to filling stadium seats as always. There's no word yet on whether teams can re-enter their facilities, but this may be the anchor that the public needs to begin the return back to sports normalcy. Well, tune in next week for more sports. Alien X Radio, I'm the Prospect. Saying until next time, Prospect out.
With the weather quickly changing, it might be a good time to have your furnace or air conditioner checked out by a professional.
Freedom Heating and Cooling.
They specialize in light commercial and residential service and installation. They even do hot water tanks.
Freedom Heating and Cooling.
Just check out this deal.
Complete installation of the iWave R air purifier for only $600. It kills mold, bacteria, and viruses while reducing odors and allergens.
Contact Eric at 313-920-2325. Again, that's Eric at 313-920-2325. Or get a hold of Dave at 248-345-8196. Again, that's Dave at 248-345-8196. Look for him on Facebook at Freedom Heat Cool. Call today for a free estimate.
Freedom Heating and Cooling.
AP News. Good morning, I'm Ed Donahue. At a town hall meeting at the Lincoln Memorial on Fox News Channel, President Trump said states can gradually lift stay-at-home restrictions while still being safe in stopping the coronavirus. The president also increased his projection for the total U.S. deaths to 80,000 or 90,000.
We're at the lower level, the lowest level predicted, and we might not even hit that. It may be lower than that. And sadly, that's all we can do.
President Trump was also optimistic about a coronavirus vaccine.
We think we're going to have a vaccine by the end of this year, and we're pushing very hard. You know, we're building supply lines now. We don't even have the final vaccine.
Public health officials have said a vaccine is probably a year or 18 months away. The president also used the Lincoln Memorial backdrop to criticize the press.
I am greeted with a hostile press, the likes of which no president has ever seen. The closest would be that gentleman right up there. They always said Lincoln. Nobody got treated worse than Lincoln.
The Trump administration continues to blame China for the virus.
During an appearance on ABC's This Week, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says he suspects the coronavirus pandemic began in a Chinese lab.
These are not the first times that we've had a world exposed to viruses as a result of failures in a Chinese lab.
Pompeo says U.S. intelligence agencies continue to look into the start of that pandemic.
Verify so that we are certain.
He also accuses the Chinese Communist Party and government of trying to prevent the rest of the world from finding out about the outbreak until it began to spread internationally, costing hundreds of thousands of lives. I'm Tim McGuire.
With the House staying away because of coronavirus health risks, the Senate will convene later today for the first time since March. Faced with 20,000 coronavirus deaths, the nation's nursing homes are pushing to get states to grant them emergency protection from lawsuits. This is AP News.
The views and opinions expressed in the following show do not necessarily represent those of this station or its sponsors.
Give me some static! You got something to say? Don't be a bitch. Call into the show at 313-444-8919. You have been beamed aboard and are now inside the mothership for the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
When's the last time you had a good time?
Broadcasting from beyond planet chaos directly into your vajir holes.
Am I the meanest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the prettiest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Alien Stone.
But who am I?
Alien Stone.
Who am I?
Alien Stone.
I can't hear you.
Alien Stone.
The Shogun of Harlem.
Hey, everybody, welcome. It's hour number 3 of the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space, broadcasting to you live from inside the mothership and the other side of planet chaos, directly into your vajir holes on Alien X Radio, Raw Talk Online, UG Media, WCET-FM, Lime City Radio, and the Paranormal Junkyard Radio Network. And then in replay and syndication on these fine and fantastic stations around the world, stations like 920 WON, the Apple 9, in New York City, New York, 27.7 The Stream in Chicago, WRFN 1025 in the UK, and WRPR Rat Pack Radio in Florida, as well as many, many other fantastic affiliates. How the hell are you doing out there? Are you surviving through the quarantine? Well, coming up in this hour, we're going to be doing a replay of yesterday's Just a Few Questions. The last time we were able to do one, it was called Quarantined, and that was more than a month ago. And we've been in quarantine so long, we haven't been able to do another episode. So we did one yesterday, and now it's called Quarantine Madness, because it's going on and on. We thought we were making fun of how crazy we were going to be. Well, now we're there, folks. Now we're there. We are at the point we were making fun of then. And that is on its way. Also, this hour, we'll have another news update, as well as music for your vajir holes. And I said that we've been doing a lot of segments that I haven't been doing as of late, like this one.
And now your wackadoo of the week.
That's right, folks. I'm bringing it back. It's the wackadoo of the week. Folks, I have scoured the internet and I have looked for the craziest people that I can find. Usually they're in Florida, so I can't use them for this segment. I got to use it for the just what the Florida segment. So now the wackadoo of the week this week is 23-year-old Susan Helms. So what did she do? 23-year-old Susan Helms was caught on a neighbor's security camera as she climbed over the fence while wearing a strap-on dildo. She then tried having intercourse with their 5-year-old German Shepherd. When the paramedics arrived on the scene, Susan was bleeding pretty bad, but okay after jumping into a nearby swimming pool to escape the raging beast. Now the dog was calmly sitting next to the pool, chewing on the dildo. Miss Helms was arrested, and is now being seen by police psychologists. Really? Yes, really, folks. And that has been the Wackadoo of the Week. Oh, my God. So we need to see more music for your Vajira holes. Let's get this hour rocking and rolling and moving and grooving here real quick. Let me find something awesome. You know, I know what I want to play. Okay, so right now, my man, Mad Martin, he's listening to the show, and it's about all he can do, limping along with bad connections and stuff. And, you know, hey, it's not his fault. Everybody's in quarantine. And they're all using the bandwidth at the same time. So this happens in patches. A couple weeks ago, I could hardly get online at all. So I understand that. So let's go ahead and give him something to listen to here. Some Limberlost and Long Shadows on the Attack of the Monday Morning Mancast from Outer Space.
We got Terrence and Philip taken off the air, but look what they put on.
When a woman screams, I just feel the need to be there.
You know, you haven't stopped talking since I came here. You must have been vaccinated with a phonograph needle.
Got something to say? Don't be a bitch. Call into the show at 313-444-8919. Broadcasting from beyond planet chaos directly into your Vajir holes. You have been beamed aboard and are now inside the mothership for the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outerspace. Can you feel it?
All right, folks, welcome back to the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space. We are just about up against another news break. We kind of went over top of a news break already, but hey, man, that's live radio, right? That's why I have a phone system. I want you to call in, and I want to hear what's happening out there, man. We're all on lockdown. We're all got isolation syndrome going on. We're all just sick to death of watching Netflix. I mean, we've seen everything. I mean, we've seen everything good. Now people are actually watching this Tiger King trash TV. I know, you're all saying, I like it, Alien Stone. Quit saying it's trash TV. I like it. Okay, so you like it. You like trash TV then. I'm just saying. Oh, my God. Anyway, we're going to take a short break, pausing the action for some news. And we're still going to do a review of Just a Few Questions from Inside the Mothership, which aired yesterday. Remember, each and every Sunday at 12 noon Eastern, right here on this fantastic station, 12 noon Eastern, Inside the Mothership will air live. Usually it's myself and D-Unit, my co-host, but of course, he is on lockdown at home as well, so I've been flying solo all this time. There's been no D's Music News. You know, as far as I get on music news, this was the song that played. There's my music news. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, taking that short break, pausing the action for station identification, we will be back with Just a Few Questions. Go nowhere.
And now your weekly news update from NPR.
Broadcasting directly into your brain.
I've always listened to it.
Italy is slowly starting to reopen services today. This country is one of the worst affected by the pandemic, so the reopening will be very gradual. Only some manufacturing and construction sites are allowed to resume work today, and restaurants will be allowed to offer takeout. The Lucille Lortel Awards, which honor off-Broadway theater, were presented in an online ceremony last night. Host Mario Cantoni was in his apartment, while guest presenter Lin-Manuel Miranda was in his bathroom. Jeff London has more.
The format may have been different and the season may have been shortened due to COVID-19, but the Lucille Lortel Awards were handed to an innovative group of off-Broadway plays and musicals. Will Arbery's dark drama about Christian academics, Heroes of the Fourth Turning, took 3 awards, including Best Play, while Dave Malloy's Octet, an a cappella show about internet addicts, won 3 awards, including Best Musical.
Click, click. Those first few hours.
Best Revival went to For Colored Girls, who have considered suicide when the rainbow is enough. Anna Devere Smith was awarded a star in the playwright's Sidewalk. For NPR News, I'm Jeff London in New York.
The National Weather Service warns severe thunderstorms are possible today from Oklahoma into Kentucky. That includes the chance for some tornadoes, damaging wind gusts and large hail. The service also says temperatures may hit the triple digits in parts of the desert Southwest today. The region may see record high temperatures later this week. This is NPR News.
It's starting to get warm outside. Pretty soon my balls are going to stick to my leg. I got to get me some freedom.
Freedom Heating and Cooling.
They specialize in light commercial and residential service and installation. They even do hot water tanks.
Freedom Heating and Cooling.
Just check out this deal.
Complete installation of the iWave R air purifier for only $600. It kills mold, bacteria, and viruses while reducing odors and allergens.
Contact Eric at 313-920-2325. Again, that's Eric at 313-920-2325. Or get a hold of Dave at 248-345-8196. Again, that's Dave at 248-345-8196. Look for him on Facebook at Freedom Heat Cool. Call today for a free estimate.
Freedom Heating and Cooling.
Me and my lady want to get busy tonight. What do you recommend?
Igor's Lube. I got my fist stuck in a gravy boat. Any ideas on how I can get it out?
Igor's Lube.
The hinges on my cabinet doors are squeaky. What should I use?
Igor's Lube.
I got dry, flaky elbows.
Igor's Lube.
Okay, but what if I'm being held hostage by a supervillain in an underground lair with a ticking time bomb and only seconds left until detonation? What would save me then, huh?
Igor's Lube.
That's right. Everything is smoother with Igor's Lube.
Igor's Lube. Get some today and get some tomorrow.
Sick of getting your pizza the old-fashioned way? Delivered by some tool riding his little sister's bike? Sick of pizza places that advertise the delivered in 30 minutes or less guarantee, but don't actually deliver in time? You need your pizza delivered real fast. So call us. We're Intercontinental Ballistic Missile Pizza, a new division of the North Korean People's Army. We promise your order will be there in a flash, and your pizza will be hot. Guaranteed. With delivery to the U.S. territory of Guam in 14 minutes or less. Delivery to Japan in 5 minutes or less. And delivery to South Korea there before you can hang up the phone. ICBM Pizza. Explosively good taste, no tips required, and your choice of all 2 toppings that are not on the UN sanctions list. Yet.
Resistance is futile, but you can struggle if you like.
It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
You got something to say? Say it, bucko. Call into the show live at 313-444-8919. Again, that number is 313-444-8919.
Let's rock this joint. Let's rock this joint.
Oh, mama. I love a chick in a trench coat. You never know what they got under there, you know.
And now it's time to answer just a few questions.
That's right, folks. It is that time. It's been a long time, actually. It's been more than a month. It's like a month and a half since I've done a new Just a Few Questions. The last Just a Few Questions that I did was called Quarantine. Because we all went into quarantine. We all began our stay-at-home mandated bullcrap. Well, now it's been, 5 weeks later? 4 or 5 weeks later? Now it's time for the new episode, Quarantine Madness. That's right, you've heard of Space Madness and Reefer Madness. Well, this is Quarantine Madness. Speaking of madness, on the line, I've got Mad Martin from the Mad Martin Metal Show. Martin, what's up?
Hey, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing? Doing good. You doing good? All right.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
How'd the new microphone come out? You got it all hooked up?
I think so. How's it sounding your end?
Oh, it sounds pretty good. I'm hearing a little splashback on the walls there. You might want to put up some like a pillow on the wall.
Pillow over my face.
Pillow over your face. You don't need to wear a mask if you just go over everywhere with a pillow over your face, right? I didn't kill my wife, officer. I was protecting her from the Rona.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. How you doing, Alien Stone? You good? You all right? How's the mothership?
It's doing pretty good. It's doing good. You know, we're cruising right along here. It's actually working. Everything's functioning today, as far as I know.
Wow. Sound. Yeah. I'm amazed.
So now it is time to answer just a few questions. Are you ready, sir?
I'm about as ready as I'll ever be.
All right, so here we go.
Question number 1.
Question number one is, you have now been quarantined for more than a month. You have been watched all of the movies and TV shows. You have done all the puzzles, and you built over a dozen Star Wars and Star Trek ship models. You have eaten all of the food, drank all of the beer, and smoked all of the weed. Not you, but your friends. It's all gone. Your bunker is now empty. The Idiot Box has given you lots of advice and regulations for going outside. Let's begin preparing to re-enter the post-quarantine world. First, you must get dressed. What can you wear to ensure that you will be able to maintain the required 6-foot social distancing from others? Will you wear a giant beach umbrella as a skirt? B, a pair of Dennis Leary's bell-bottom pants from the 1970s, rumored to be the biggest bell-bottoms in history. Allegedly, they start at your neck and go at least 6 feet straight out.
Oh, my.
C, a headband with 6-foot pool noodles attached to it, sticking out in all directions. Or D, the same clothes that you have been wearing for the last 5 weeks. Since you haven't left the house, you haven't changed or washed your clothes. So you figure you have at least a 6-foot stink shield that should keep everybody away. And there is a wild card answer and a bonus question. And go.
Oh, wow, that's all amazing stuff. I wanna know, I'm very interested to know what the wild card answer is.
Your wild card answer is, this is what you're going to wear when you go out to maintain your 6-foot distance. This will keep everybody 6 feet away from you. A welder's helmet, and only a welder's helmet.
Oh my. That'll keep everyone away.
The only people that will not be 6 feet away will be the police when they arrive and tackle you in the parking lot.
Oh, they'd be like the greased up deaf guy from Family Guy. It'd be amazing. Yeah, let's go with that. Sod it.
And sir, your bonus question is, if you choose only a t-shirt, what would you have that t-shirt say on it to keep people away from you?
Oh, yeah, go on then. I have the Rona.
I have the Rona. I have the Rona. That should do it. That should do it. You're running through the hills, covering up their face with a mask, protesting, do whatever, I don't know. And that brings us to...
Question number 2.
Question number 2 is... The Idiot Box has also said that you are now required to wear a mask in public. It says you can buy one or make one out of cloth or use a scarf. After trying to order one online, you realize that we will be well into the next pandemic by the time you receive them in the mail. And since a welder's helmet is not made of cloth, you will have to make one. You gather together all the materials you can find. What set of materials would you use to make and decorate your mask? A, your old Boy Scout neckerchief, rubber bands, and daisies. B, shoelaces, glitter, and a thong you snatched from Big Sally's dresser drawer during a panty raid in college. C, used dental floss, painted toenail clippings left behind in your bathroom sink by a one-night stand, and your old jerkit sock from under the nightstand. Or D, speaker wire, cabinet fabric, and a volume knob that says 11.
I'll take the last one.
It is. All right. So you're going to be all cool with that gray fabric like that, and then the speaker wire holding, and then it'll be a little button on there. That's going to look cool. Pretty stylish. And there was a wild card answer that you did not choose.
Oh, man.
The wild card answer you did not choose of what items will you use to make and decorate your mask is a bungee cord, saran wrap, and a suicide note.
Oh, jeez. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And your bonus question is, if you wear your mask with your nose sticking out, isn't that like using a condom with the tip cut off?
That's funny because my mum actually shared something very similar on Facebook. I think it was either today or yesterday.
Your mom?
She saw something. She found it incredibly funny. She shared it. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So yes, the answer is yes.
Yes.
Perfect. And of course, that brings us to
Question number 3.
Question number 3 is, now that you are all suited up and headed for the store, it's time to start thinking about what you will need to get. What supplies did you go through while on lockdown? You have plenty of canned vegetables and jarred foods. You just need to replenish the items you used the most during quarantine. So, what would you have to put on this list? A, frozen pizza, microwave burritos, Doritos, and White Claw. B, beer, weed, cupcakes, and a new Lazy Boy recliner. These are the items that you used the most while on lockdown. C, replace broken video game controllers, replace broken game system, replace smashed TV, and get an anger management video. Or D, toilet paper, Igor's lube, upgrade your virtual reality goggles, and hand sanitizer. There's also the wild card answer, and go.
Self-promoting their Alien Stone. It's got to be D.
It's got to be D. Toilet paper, Igor's lube, upgraded virtual reality goggles, and hand sanitizer.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you used the most of the last 5 weeks.
Hey,
all right.
It's been a lonely 5 weeks.
Yes, it has been, yes. It's so sticky. And the wild card answer you did not choose is an air pump, a patch kit, a new sex style, and a gallon of Igor's new hot dog water and heavy whipping cream flavored lube. Yes, I said hot dog water and heavy whipping cream flavored lube.
Oh, wow. Just wow.
Yep. And that brings us to your bonus question.
Oh, dear.
What have you missed the most during the stay-at-home order and lockdown? What have you missed the most while you've been stuck in quarantine, not being allowed to go where you want to go? What have you missed doing, or what have you missed the most?
Okay. Oh, this is just purely my own.
This is just you.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sentimental. It's missing my kids because they're funny and they make me laugh. And going to gigs.
Concerts.
Yeah.
Shows and stuff. Yeah, I can see that, man. Because I used to go to jam night and karaoke and all that's all done. You know. We gotta wait and see now. So that's what you missed the most: your children and concerts.
Yeah, man.
All right. That brings us to lightning strikes. Are you ready for lightning strikes, sir?
I'm ready.
All right. Safe social distance, 3 feet or 6 feet?
6 feet.
Correct. comfortable social distance, 3 feet or 6 feet?
I think it's down to perception. Well, I've got to go with 6 feet.
It's kind of difficult carrying on a conversation with somebody when you're 6 feet away. It's a little, 3 feet is pretty comfortable. Any closer than that, and you're like, back up, dude. So, number 3 is true or false? Porn is better with a bigger screen.
True.
Absolutely. So we're upgrading them goggles, remember? So, toilet paper use. Do you wad it or do you fold it?
I'll fold it, sir. I'll fold.
The answer is who cares? Just wipe and then wash your hands. Number 5 is The Tiger King. Great TV or trash TV?
Dear, trash TV.
Correct. It's garbage.
Dumpster fire TV.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's a great... I'm going to start up on my own streaming network called Dumpster Fire TV. Oh, my God. Have nothing but trash TV on it all day. Man, I'd make $1 million. I'd never watch it, but I'd make $1 million. Wow. Okay, so electric toothbrush or regular toothbrush?
Regular toothbrush.
The answer is who cares? Just brush your damn teeth. Next one is regular or scented toilet paper?
Who cares?
Good answer. You don't need to make it smell good because it's going to get messed up.
I know, right? Yeah.
Plus, the chemicals can make your butt itch.
This is true.
Very true. I have an allergic reaction to the smelly stuff on my toilet paper. That's called poop. No, that smelly stuff. The other smelly stuff.
Imagine explaining that to the swell about the swelling at ER.
I need some help here. So I look like a baboon. Anyway,
some modern day celebrity.
Have you ever shaved? I said shaved. I didn't mean to say shaved. That's a different question. Have you ever saved something for so long that it was no longer any good?
Yeah, my favorite ripped jeans that are now completely no good.
Absolutely. And my answer is too, yes, food. I said, oh, I love this so much, I'm going to keep it, I'm going to keep it, I'm going to keep it, I'm going to keep it. And then, oh, I'm going to eat it, and it's green. You know, it's like, oh, can't eat that now. And the other one I was very bummed about. In 1982, a movie came out called E.T. And I was given a small E.T. doll at that time, in 1982. And it was made of like a vinyl material on the outside. And I wanted to save it, so I wrapped it in a plastic bag and I put it in a box. And decades later, I opened it up and pulled it out, and all of the vinyl skin on it had melted off of it over the years.
Oh, no way.
So it was no good anymore. It bummed me out. I don't know how it happened, but anyway. Number 9. Speaking of vinyl or silicone?
For what?
That's the whole question.
Depends.
Vinyl or silicone?
Vinyl, I don't know.
The answer is they are both silky smooth with Igor's Lube. And your final lightning strikes question is frozen pizza or microwave burritos?
Oh my. Both trash. Microwave burritos. Sorry.
Wrong! Microwave burritos can burn the crap out of your face when you bite into it, splatters all. So it's definitely frozen pizzas, and both of those are better than anything sold by Little Caesars. So thank you very much, sir. That has been Mad Martin from the Mad Martin Metal Show, and this has been Just a Few Questions. All right, folks, it is once again time for the punchlines. This portion of the show being brought to you by Freedom Heating and Cooling. Look for them on Facebook at Freedom Heat Cool. That's Freedom Heat Cool. Freedom Heating and Cooling. Alex Jones, well, he's considering eating his neighbors if the COVID-19 lockdown continues. I'm ready to hang them up. Gut them. Skin them. The InfoWars conspiracy theorist said of his neighbors. Well, in his defense, maybe they looked really delicious. Or maybe they smelled like Twinkies. Don't judge. Where'd that come from? Weatherman's dog crashes forecast, becomes internet's new quarantine hero. So obviously this is a weatherman who's doing his weather reports from home because he's on quarantine, and his doggy dog gets involved and comes out onto the camera, and everybody loves him and thinks he's awesome. So it's like meet Brody, the Tampa Bay weather dog, winning the hearts across social media. And with absolutely no training in meteorology at all, he's already proven to be just as accurate as your local weatherman. Arf, arf. Way to go, Brody. Hero cat alerts sleeping family to burning slow cooker. Joey, a cat in Canada, woke up his owners Sunday morning after the slow cooker caught on fire. No one knows exactly what or why the feline was up so late and cooking, but now he's been grounded and banned from using the kitchen. So, Kentucky Derby fans can watch turtles race instead of horses this weekend. The Kentucky Turtle Derby, I love the way Turtle Derby, will feature thoroughbreds like She Hides a Bunch, American Taruga, and Galapagos in the field. And just like that, the Kentucky Derby became watchable again. Man wins $1 million lottery jackpot not once but twice in the same day. The Colorado man, identified only as Joe B., won two $1 million Powerball jackpots on March 25th. Steve Austin is rumored to be producing a comedy reboot of The $6 Million Man, starring this lucky winner called the $2 Million Powerballs. Sure. And the Pentagon officially releases 3 videos of unexplained aerial phenomenon. Navy officials confirmed the video's existence last fall while insisting at the time that the footage should never have been made public. So, now you can officially see the footage that we have all already seen many years ago on Ancient Aliens. Just saying, folks. What else have I got here? Keep them coming, right? Keep them coming. We already did the feral pig thing, right? Yeah, we did that. All right. A New York City firefighter rocked the national anthem on guitar to salute healthcare workers. A New York City firefighter named Louis DeRosa of Ladder 15 shredded the national anthem on his guitar outside of the New York Presbyterian Hospital a few days back. It was part of the city's nightly salute to healthcare workers. And when we say shredded, we mean it. He went full-on Jimi Hendrix as the fellow firefighters stood beside him atop their fire engine. So we got some good news in here. Some cool things happening, right? And then Eminem hears the widow noise going on in his house, and apparently his army of security guards are all sleeping in the middle of the night. So Eminem bravely gets up and walks downstairs, I'm sure into his mansion, thinking, whatever, he's going to find a security guard down there. Nope, instead he finds a fan who had busted through a window with a rock. He wasn't there to hurt him, he just wanted to meet the rapper. So needless to say, Psycho Boy has been arrested. And now I'm sure there's going to be a new song called Stand Part 2, where the guy didn't really die, and then he still came after the singer. Anyway, hey, I just wrote your next album there, Eminem. Give me some money, Marshall. A guy accidentally deposited not 1 but 2 bags of cocaine at the bank. Thank you for coming. A bank customer made a huge mistake that landed him behind bars. Well, we don't want that music to end yet. All right, I made it just in time. All right, so a bank customer made a huge mistake, landed him behind bars when making a deposit at his local branch. Police reports say that 34-year-old David Pangallo, we'll say that, Pangallo, deposited 2 bags of cocaine along with his cash at the drive-through window. The bank teller found the cocaine. When they opened the tube, Well, they found it when they opened the tube, and the teller called the police, and the search for the man's vehicle dug up more drugs. Not search for the vehicle, but when they searched the vehicle. I can't even read my own typing. So you're a real smart guy, aren't you? You're like one of them brilliant people, right? You had such a great idea. Let's throw some cocaine. Man, what were you thinking? What was it, stuck between the bills? I don't know. Some of these stories are just crazy, and that has been the punchlines. All right, folks, so we are just about out of time. That's right, it is coming pretty close here. So I think some more music for your Vajir holes would be appropriate. So I'm going to go over to the new music folder. And speaking of the new music folder, listeners, if you're in a band, if you know people that are in a band and they have a quality MP3 recording of their music, then by all means submit it to my radio station and to the show. The show accepts any genre of music. The station plays primarily heavy hard rock, but the radio stations play any kind of genre, from country to hip-hop to jazz to, of course, hard rock, heavy metal, and alternative. So you can submit anything you want to me. Just please make sure it's an MP3 and attach it to an email. Send it on over to newmusic@alienxradio.com. Again, that's newmusic@alienxradio.com. And like I said, we normally are playing a lot of really heavy music on the radio station, but here on the show, we've got a very wide range of listeners, as we are on a very wide range of radio stations. So in addition to being heard on Alien X Radio, you'll get to be heard on the show, which is being broadcast on 20 other radio stations around the world. And then they get replayed as well. So by all means, submit your music to the radio station so that it can make it out there. So again, that's newmusic@alienxradio.com. Let's see. I want to give you an example of some music that is not the normal kind of heavy hard rock music that we would normally play on the radio station, but wow, I can't find. There we go. All right, so here's a very big switch from the heavy hard rock music, and this is a lovely lady that was part of the 36 Hours of Alien Xmas some time ago. Julie Haven is her name, and she's a fantastic artist from the Detroit area, and currently she is on lockdown in Florida, where she usually spends her winters and is unable to return home. I think they released her from Florida, but you're going to have trouble driving through the country. So I don't know how this is going to work for her. But until then, Love and War by Julie Haven on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space.
All is fair in love and war. Isn't that what they say when they come knocking down your door?
the street on fire, people will move out of your way.
All right, everybody, I do want to thank you for tuning in this week for another exciting episode of The Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space. Again, submit your music to newmusic at alienextraradio.com. Submit your questions and complaints and comments to alienstone at alienextraradio.com. Make sure you head on over to YouTube and make sure you subscribe to the Alien X Radio YouTube channel. Make sure you head over to Facebook and find the Alien X Radio fan group and join that one as well to keep you abreast of everything that's happening. Thank you to all of my affiliates live and in replay and syndication around the world. And until next time, this is Alien Stone saying, put your mask on, wipe your hands, and while you're at it, wash your ass.
The views and opinions expressed in the following show do not necessarily